Video games, choo-choo train, monkey bars, period games, spicy juice, angry goose, shiny cars, get foot loose, hatred birds, picnic birds, soda pop, warms the birds, booty twerk, paperwork, spinning top, mermaid merc, leaves turn red in the fall, who remembers yo-yo ball, dirty secrets, filthy lies, and Taco Bell is nacho fries. Yet there's a universe of stuff and things, from concepts to living beings. I may never count them all, so I'm just gonna have a ball. Postman, trash cans, cotton candy, floor plans, teeter-totters, river otters, spice, brandy, Harry Potter, dog food, big moves, comic books, burly dudes, short skirts, Hershey squirts, tablecloth, just dessert, dish ran off with the spoon, uh-oh hon, that's no moon, things are born, grow old and die, and Taco Bell is nacho fries, nacho fries. Yep, there's a universe of stuff and things, from concepts to living beings. Don't forget future and past, so I'm just gonna have a blast. Diamond jewelry, beer breweries, ass disasters, hidden thieves, missing tooth, wasted youth, kung fu masters, photo booths, tasty snacks, income tax, squeaky toys, Mars attacks, roller coasters, movie posters, solar systems, brave toasters, flowers bloom in the spring. I just forgot that other thing. Some birds have wings, but they can't fly, and Taco Bell has nacho fries, nacho fries. Yep, there's a universe of stuff and things, from concepts to living beings. I may never count them all, so I'm just gonna have a ball.
Oh, that was fun. It helped. Oh my God, it's still playing. Hi, professional YouTuber here, folks. Yes, yes. So the thought on everybody's mind right now, should we ban squirrels from having guns? Because apparently this seems to be a major thing. Fizz, you've been investigating.
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
Is it a bad thing that probably one of the reasons I just like doing this show is so I can play that clip there? Thank you, McCracken. It seems more fitting given more recent events and yada yada, like making a sequel after 30 years.
Yeah.
Has it actually been that long? When was it, like 92, 94? It literally has been like 30
It's
years.
been a long, it's been a while. Oh my goodness.
That's something
And-
that I'll actually say, just because it's like, to be fair, I remember I grew up on the cartoon series, and I watched the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, they did a movie of this. Because for me, the series was phenomenal. So much of my dirty, pervy humor came from there. Now, is it as far as Ren and Stimpy? No, I would say it's not as far as Ren and Stimpy. They at least had like somewhat tasteful morals, and you at least had Lydia to balance out like Beetlejuice's like craziness. As long as there's balance, you can kind of justify more things, I claim. But yeah, so Fizz, oh no, I've got a nerdy rodent.
Oh,
Wait a second, that rodent, I've seen him in pickle form before, so I cannot say. So Fizz, you've been investigating squirrels.
Oh, I was gonna say, with that new Beetlejuice movie coming out, for some reason I had a dream that I already went and watched it and didn't like it, and Jenna Ortega like took personal beef with that or really got upset and like actually came to me to freaking be pissed off and like
Wow.
yeah.
As you're a person that basically doesn't go around to like give all your hot takes and stuff, I wonder if it's anything to do with the greater culture of the stuff and things on the internet. Be like, I did not like this thing, so people would take things personally.
It was so weird, and the weirdness of it is what woke me up because I was like, I think the fight started on the internet where I was just like, man, that was disappointing. And I was like, Jenna Ortega's cute and all, but she just really does not fit these goth girl roles, is what I put. And and so I think it started on the internet, and the next thing I know, she's like, we're in each other's faces in person, like she personally traveled.
I mean, well, you just attacked her goth card. How
Yeah.
dare you? I don't know. I just see it's I may or may not have come back from an undisclosed ramen location somewhere in Boston with the artist formerly known as Miss Melons.
Ooh, I love
God, fresh
ramen
ramen is
locations.
Mm.
Oh yeah, y'all
Apparently
near
there are
each
several.
other.
We got that, and she popped my boba tea cherry. It was really good. What can I say?
Isn't it? And
Yeah,
there's different kinds of boba. My favorite are the popping bobas that are full with the juices, but I do also like the chewy one.
Wait, there's options?
Depending on where you get your boba, there are different. Oh man, there's so many combinations and different kind of bobas.
It's greetings. Yes, greetings, Rick and LDG. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining. Swinging by, catching on the replay, temporal differentials, yada yada. But all I know is that makes a lot more sense because I remember she was saying something to me about the different stuff, but all I know is I was sucking things up, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not used to this. Oh, they're like gushers. It's like it just immediately.
You got the popping kind then. Yeah, yeah.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess she was saying tapioca, and then I'm just like something pudding, but that was not my experience. So now I understand the words that came out of her mouth.
Yeah, I was about to say the traditional kind are like they're called like big tapioca balls. Yeah, they're chewy like that. They're like the chunks in the tapioca pudding, only big and circly. But my favorite kind are the popping kind, and that sounds like that's what you got.
Yep. No. At first it was weird. I'm like, wait a second. When I suck up things through a straw, that's usually me just being a complete slob and just like either having some backwash or something goes in there, and then all of a sudden it starts going up there. But I was just like, oh, this is weird. And then they popped, and I'm like, this is deliciousness. And I literally had no idea. It's like I go up there, it's like
ones of those, yeah, filled with
I just got strawberry, so I was boring. So I'm just like, it's a nice day, it's warm, so I'm like, I get a nice refreshing drink.
Honestly, the flavors that I have seen the busting ones come in are pretty generic, like strawberry, blueberry.
I think that's what I got because I didn't know how to order. It's like they asked me a question, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, just turned. It's like, what do I get? So she ordered strawberry, which was probably a good thing.
It's a safe choice. Yep.
But it was good, and to be fair, I'm like, how did we get ramen at that arcade or one of those places? Was that a thing, or am I thinking of something else?
We've eaten a couple places
like Chinese, but I don't think it was ramen. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we've got ramen. I did recently find a ramen place, but I can't remember where it even was. It was cute.
I was gonna say, I think that may have been two cherries going to an actual ramen shop to get ramen.
Yeah, I had just done that recently myself.
So.
That was a new one for me too. It was very cool. Except I was really sad that they didn't put like the stuff in it that I see they put in it in the anime. They didn't have that stuff, and I was like,
there was an egg in it. There was an actual egg.
Oh, mine had the egg in it. Mm-hmm. But like the little, like the cute other crap, I was like, man, this doesn't look like anime ramen.
So it was below your expectations of. Well, I mean, I feel like they might play it up. It's kind of like in any advertisement. It's like, yes, look at this delicious burger. Now, what we're not showing is we actually cut a line. We opened it so it looks like about a third bigger. we painted on these things and everything.
The
And if
grill
you tried
marks,
to eat this actual burger, you would probably get sick because it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not a real burger in the picture.
Yeah. I mean, these things happen, but all right.
Well, the ramen was still tasty. It was very tasty.
Because just my personal experience was no, not black holes, boba.
Right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It came with some rice and a little Philly roll and stuff like that.
See, mine had less stuff in it. I can't remember what exactly I ordered, but I know it was, a full bowl of ramen with ramen accessories.
I literally looked at the pictures and this, like, for the boba tea. Eventually, it's like, well, you could get this, but I would get this, but it's not. I'm like Philly. I'm like, oh, Philly roll. I'm like, I can go for a Philly roll. And we nearly got into a fight over that check there. It's like it's been very few times where it's like she's going to rip it. She's going to make me let her pay for me. That doesn't always happen. It's all right. I grabbed the boba tea. But yes, Adega, Squirrel. I realize, yes, you came here for Squirrel. You're getting some ramen. Okay. So I'm going to give a warning. Anybody that's here right now, Fizz included, this may be a little loud.
Oh, crap.
Only doing this because it is deep lore and we need to get copyright claim. Okay, you may want to turn down your volume a wee bit.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일
Yeah, that's. I don't know. See, I'm typically pro squirrel, and I was gonna go the whole. It's like, should we ban squirrels from having firearms and stuff? And I felt like I could go into all these different ways, but then again, it's like, do you really want to put a G word in the title? Because some folks aren't fans of that, and a lot of folks, they have very particular.
A lot of YouTube is not fan of that either.
So I just went with Squirrels Rise Up.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to capture the general essence of what's going on there, but God, Squirrel Ramen Gundam style. That I don't even want to. Don't Google that, anybody. Just because I'm making random mind connections, I don't think you'll like where it goes. What kimchi? What is kimchi? I hear that.
It's cabbage.
Oh. See?
Well, it's not just cabbage. It's a specific dish, but the primary ingredient is cabbage.
Well, see? You learn something new every day. And with that,
it's tasty, ladies, as long as you don't ask any other questions about it when you're eating it.
In that case, I have no further questions, Fizz. But let's talk about squirrels with guns.
Woo!
In a world of peace and tranquility,
this is SWAG Morning
homeowners
News.
now hunt
are causing significant power outages.
Now, has anybody ever played or at least seen somebody play, what is it, My Pet Goat or something? That thing where like, we're literally like a ragdoll goat or something.
Goat Simulator?
Oh, yeah, that's
that was the best ever. That was so weird. It was the best thing ever.
I'm just like, you're like this kind of falling down, ragged, like goat thing, and then you're bothering people and you're getting to all these hijinks. I remember I think it was like XXX Mrs. Memes, like her sister or something was playing, and I'm like, this seems like one of the silliest games ever, but it seemed very fun. And then I remember seeing, like, I think John Green or Hank Green playing the Goose Simulator, which you just went around and you're just like stealing stuff and doing all this stuff. I'm like, all right, this takes kind of that
You're doing
concept.
definite goose things.
well, it's kind of like, okay, you have a scratch game. So far we've seen it's like, all right, There seem to be some unexplained homicides. There seems to be, I don't know, a squirrel stealing a birthday cake for some reason. I have so many questions.
Oh,
And-
actually, I will actually defend the squirrel in that case.
Oh.
I have not actually seen the trailer. I've just freaking saw it on Steam and wish listed it just from the name alone. Like, I didn't need
feel like
any
a lot
other
of people-
information. I just needed squirrel with a gun. I was like, yep, I'm gonna put that on my wish list because it was like, come in soon. So that was like actually like a good while ago that's been sitting on my wish list waiting for it to actually launch. And yeah, all I knew was the name.
Okay, so we've gotten verification that apparently kimchi is spicy sauerkraut.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that is a better way to describe it. I mean, there's definitely different things in it compared to sauerkraut, but that's definitely one way to describe it.
All right. We get back to our rodent brought chaos.
Hidden truth lies beneath the surface. An ordinary rodent's fate is within his grasp. Now this squirrel is here to eat nuts and shoot some guns. And guess what? He's all out of nuts.
And- I mean, there's just so much gratuitous violence, and I'm like, I think the only way you could get away with like this level of violence is that it's literally an adorable fuzzy animal.
I was about to say, you say gratuitous, I say adorable.
Or we could just continue with the spicy moniker. Just because it's literally still there. I'm just like, the thing I appreciate about this trailer, they're very self-conscious. They're conscious of exactly what they're doing. We can.
Oh yeah.
Expect sandboxing, puzzle solving, and gun-slinging action in the platform epic you never knew could exist.
See,
It is.
when they just say that, it's like, when you first hear this game, it's like me, it's like squirrel with a gun. I'm like, that's a thing? I didn't know. It actually never... I can't say it never crossed my mind. I feel like Parrot Head or somebody maybe had sent me some memes of showing squirrels doing similar things. I wonder if this is where this came from, because it's not like a meme from the internet has ever been turned into a video game, comic book, or movie or something.
Oh man.
Never.
Hold on to your nuts. The food chain's got a new hierarchy.
I just
Get
heard
ready
that bye-bye.
for Squirrel with a gun. Coming soon to Steam and Epic. And coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X and...
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There
all of
is
them.
our unpaid advertisement for the apparently thing that exists, Squirrel with a Gun. Available
I'm
now
actually
on,
impressed at like how well done it is, because I figured they would develop, like, you know, the title obviously makes it sound like a joke, so I figured they would treat it like a joke. So the level of like actual like work and effort and
It actually looks pretty good.
detail that was put into it, I'm like, holy crap, dude, they took it seriously, while not taking themselves seriously.
Yeah, well, you know what? You have fun with something, and apparently some folks are talking about it. Apparently some folks, like yourself, have downloaded it because they're just like, I have no additional information for this game. I'm just going to click and add this because it's Squirrel with a Gun. What else do you need to know?
Right, the second I found out it released, I bought that so fast. I'm like, dude, that has been sitting on my wish list forever, and all I know is basically the picture of the title and, you know, the title itself. Like, all I know is Squirrel Gun. I'm good. I'm sold. You sold me.
The first I heard of this, I think from you. I think you had retweeted something. You're like, I never knew I needed this game.
There are a few games that still haven't come out yet that I'm waiting on that are like that too. Like, this is something I did not know I always wanted. I didn't know I always needed.
I'm just gonna, because I just watched that gameplay. It's just showing some of the initial things, and I understand some of them are kind of like cinematic cutscenes and stuff where it's like, all right, you've got what is it? You're battling and stuff, and you hit the buttons, and all of a sudden you out to the bazooka, and all of a sudden up you go on, you land on the head, and you're like, oh, they're not going to do what they did. And kind of like the South Park thing, it's like the worst stuff you do, you need to have it either very badly animated, like pixelated, so it's like, all right, kind of Minecraft-ish, or it needs to be horrible things by adorable characters. Apparently help justify things. Kind of like, it's like if yourself as an adorable chibi like wolf girl were to go on to a brutal rampage, we could probably actually get away with a lot of stuff and actually have it be either broadcast or published in a way.
Nice.
I'm just saying, Fez's links are in the doobly-doo if anybody wants to see that become a thing. So, hey.
I was going to say, I've been playing Squirrel with a Gun on Tuesdays.
So
I'll be doing that for a while. Yeah, because it is fun. And I don't like... Puzzles and platformers in my shooty games annoy me. But it's worth it in this case.
Because I was going to say, I'm like, no, I get what you're saying. A lot of folks, it's like, all right, if you like this particular style of gameplay, it's like, all right, you can play the game. It's like, but then sometimes there's like mini games and stuff, things that you kind of have to do, and you're like, this is not what I signed up for. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. My personal opinion, the little siege game in Final Fantasy VII, I love that. Maybe just because I was really good at it and I did very well, but I love that little game. I thought that was fun as heck. But you start looking at some of these other things, I'm like, from what I saw from the mini quest, it's like something, mess up the football game and a birthday party. And I'm like, I would do that if I was an adorable squirrel that got to go around, use drones, a little race car, and then like blast a whole bunch of baddie agents and stuff like that. I would totally play that. Maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually kind of it's a little heartwarming because you screw up all sorts of stuff for like the quote unquote bad guys, but for the like random civilians, you don't necessarily do anything too well. You're not supposed to. It's not set up for you. You can accidentally shoot them a lot though, and that sucks. Or snap their necks, but it's okay. They walk it off somehow.
Well, they need to be regenerated and stuff. They're like the NPC that comes back. Apparently, it's one
weird.
Of the,
they act dead. They ragdoll, fall down, act dead for a second, and then they just get back up and are like, man, that was freaky.
To be fair, no, that's how you justify it. So you're not just murdering innocent people. So it's kind of like in some games you can attack all these different things, but some things it's like we won't let you attack. In this case, they're like, we'll let you attack, but you don't quite finish them. You're just giving them a headache.
Yeah. You don't kill the civilians, and there is one that you actually have to do the neck crack thing to, in order to make him happy, because apparently he hurt his back, and you did some chiropractic. You all of a sudden it'll pop up there and say the chiropractor on the screen, and that's how you unlock one of the nuts. Is like you have to help this dude, and it takes you a while to figure that out because he's just like standing in a room with like a weight, one of them like kettlebell weight things.
Oh, he's got a kettlebell he threw out his back, so you need to adjust him with a bazooka, or
no? You just jump on him and break his neck with your bare paws.
That's amazingly terrifying.
Yeah, it's so cute, though.
I'm just even trying to hold on. I'm sure they have it. Oh God. Here we go. Yes. All right. All takedowns of Squirrel with Gun. This is obviously the thing that we're looking for.
Oh, I don't know if I've performed all of them yet. I don't know if I want to know all of them.
Oh,
I've seen this one.
Oh my God. Wait a second. The agents drop nuts?
Everybody drops nuts. Like, you can get civilians to drop nuts in a couple of different ways, depending on the civilian.
I mean, do the nuts do anything for you?
Yes. You know how it showed him like looking at the car inside the little clear box?
You can
thingy?
unlock stuff.
You unlock, yeah, you got to collect certain amounts of nuts in order to access stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh God, it's making me want a chiropractic adjustment now. I don't want to spoil these for you, Fizz. We don't need to continue.
Yeah, that was the first kind of takedown I did, was that kind right there. But I don't think I've seen the takedowns with the other kinds of guns yet.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah. Now again, the 6-shooter, the shotgun, the
Yeah, all I've played with is the handgun and the Uzi so far. But what's great is like these things do have like hardcore knockback because you're a squirrel, and if you don't remember to plan for that, bad things can happen to you. They set up a lot of areas where they're hoping you forget about knockback.
Because I was okay. I just can't. Okay, we can share this one because I think this is the neck cracking.
Oh yeah, if it says chiropractor, then that's
no.
Oh yeah, I can do it here too. I think. Yep.
I'm just like,
yeah. The thing is, they get back up from that.
I mean, I think that was an agent. I don't think they get.
Yeah, the agent might. Yeah, the agent might not get back up. I can't remember. I usually did other stuff to them, like blow them up and stuff. There's like bombs randomly. Yeah, this is supposed to be a random peaceful neighborhood that just happens to have like bombs everywhere and stuff.
Okay, no. Let's enter. Okay, you say that. It's like, what if this was actually an insight into how things actually were? Because if you do it statistically, it's like, all right, within neighborhoods, there are a number of folks that maybe like to prep and have different stuff and things around. And if you were to broadly distribute it, I'm just saying the United States is the most well-armed nation in the world. In case that takes place in the United States, that might explain a lot.
Oh, true. From the looks of it, it probably takes place in like a fever dream version of what people think the United States is like. Not gonna lie.
So like Leave It to Beaver circa like the 90s or something.
No, I mean like what especially like people in other countries that have never been to America assume America is like based on stereotypes of America. That's what this place is like.
Okay, so who made this game? That's Squirrel.
I've never paid attention. I only know Squirrel with gun.
I don't know. Maybe it was those what was it, Tencent or Tenet Media? I don't know. Maybe there's some Russian or something like that. That's
no, if it's
I just see random things about that. I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't been around those parts for a while. Does it necessarily surprise me? Not really.
Actually, I think if it's Tencent, I don't think it's Tencent. I don't think Tencent Games is involved in any way because there's no microtransactions so far.
Okay. So we'll go to the number one source that people often use on the internet without always sourcing things.
It also means I don't think Ubisoft is involved either because there's no.
Let's see. Publisher Maximum Entertainment. Ooh, well, at least they gave it their all.
Maximum.
Excuse me. DD Creations LLC.
DD Creations is the developers, yeah, and then Maximum Entertainment is the publisher.
Okay,
I've never heard of DD Creations, but good job, guys.
Okay,
this thing is entertaining as heck.
So does this description generally apply in Squirrel with a gun? The player controls a squirrel as they explore an open world. The squirrel has a multitude of weapons that can use, ranging from pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles, and an RPG. And they kill the agents and everything. That sounds like the game. Is that basically it?
Yeah, that's pretty much that whole thing. Freaking sums it up really good. Yeah, some of the stuff, like if you want to get all the objectives.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the reason that because
That's the
you sit
reason.
back, you're like, why are they chasing this squirrel? Like
I know, right?
it's an ordinary squirrel that happened to eat a high-tech hard drive that was shaped like an acorn. Number one, why did you have it shaped like an acorn? Number two,
from the looks
who
of
the
it, it
heck
just happened
lost
to
it?
be, and now like the squirrel sees anything vaguely acorn shaped as golden acorns. Because at one point you need a well, some of them I can tell why they're acorns, and other times there's just golden acorns, you know, so they don't have to come up with something for all of them. But one of the golden acorns is a little propane tank for, you know, a grill that you have to explode.
Of
And
course.
since you can't kill the civilians, right? So the person at the grill that was supposed to be grilling the burgers, he just gets launched and then just chills on the roof.
Okay, so it's okay. So it's also got some Acme cartoon hijinks in it, and that it's like, all right, the whole grill goes boom. What happens? It's like, no, you're not maimed or horribly injured. You literally just get blown onto the roof.
Yep, nobody's But yeah, I found out that actually you have to figure out sometimes in order to do or get stuff, you actually have to help the random civilians. And that took a bit to figure out because I'm like, yeah, I'm a squirrel. I'm just like, I'm here to fuck up everybody's day. Turns out no. But you see, I'm a little biased because I am from the canine, family. And so I always just assume that squirrels are there to ruin everything. So I had to change my play style a little bit when I figured out that I can't just ruin everything. I actually have to fix some stuff.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't be able to do that game because I do ruin everything. I think this is literal
Right? That's why I was like,
right
man,
now.
I don't like puzzles and stuff in my pew pew games. I like my pew pews to just pew pew. Mostly it's the platforming I hate though. But as the squirrel, the platforming is pretty dang fun because it's ridiculous and
so basically it's just like advertised. It's you're a squirrel creating hijinks and battling Agent Smith looking dudes that are chasing you for some reason, and a whole bunch of hijinksical ways to make them go boom.
Yeah. I shortly before I ended, I had just gotten blown up by a whole tank and stood and survived with like a sliver of life left. And it was a cutscene. And the agent that was controlling the tank apparently popped out, and on the back of his little black suit jacket had "Daddy" written across it, all blinged out. Like, I think he's going to be a boss fight later. But like, yeah, so everything is, even like the most serious parts of the plot are very unserious.
I can confirm, yes, it literally is Daddy Tank boss fight.
And I found
literally brought it up there as
one of the clothing I found, the little yellow sundress that changes the way your squirrel runs. It does a quote unquote dainty run. So funny looking.
Wait, I don't see. No, either share or where do I go? What do I look for?
Oh, you can look. Well, they might have like somewhere already just a clip of dainty run. Squirrel with gun, dainty run dress.
Dainty. What is this? Tiny. Oh wait.
But I didn't know that.
That's a beefy tank too.
Some of the different clothing items that you can pick up, some of them actually like give stat boosts and stuff. And some of them do nothing. And the dress, instead of a stat boost, it just said dainty, just
Oh my
gives
god,
them
you can
dainty
get a
run.
top hat.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what are all these? I don't know. I need to
Now,
go.
I don't
No,
know
I
all of the outfits yet. And that's another one that like I don't want to know until I find them, so that like I'm laughing hysterically at each one like I have been.
It's okay. I don't think that we can go through this because most of these are just compilations. I'm just leaving looking at the thumbnails and everything.
Oh man.
All right.
I'm gonna say I don't know how to find you just a animation of dainty run dress then.
Oh no. That's fine. But okay, we're gonna go back to some news of the past. Why might the squirrels be rising up? And we're gonna get into it right here.
Ask
Why?
me the squirrel.
I believe we've actually covered this before here. Alabama man accused of keeping meth-fueled attack squirrel faces new charges.
Oh, is this more recent? No, this is still 2022.
Well, to be fair, well, I think this is a rehashing of the same individual from the 2019, because the 2019, he was arrested 2019 when the authorities had received a tip about the allegedly drugged squirrel. And aside from the road, police found body armor and meth. So, I mean, just standard things that go along with your attack squirrel.
Yeah.
God,
attack squirrel starter kit right there.
And you just look at this, it's like, the poor squirrel, but it's like, well, I don't know, but if I was a meth head with a pet attack squirrel, I don't know. I don't want to fight a squirrel on meth. That just sounds like a bad idea. We saw what happened in the game. What if that squirrel was in recovery and then somebody effed with them the wrong way? And eventually, due to happenstance in the multiverse, infinite number of iterations of everything, that agent happened to trip at a particular time and happened to have their firearm come into their fuzzy little paws.
Yeah. This dude was feeding the squirrel meth specifically to keep it aggressive and just to keep it like freaked out. But wait. Oh, okay, that's not squirrel related there, but
No, I think that was maybe a more recent one, or I don't know, maybe from before.
They released it. What I was like, they released it into the wild. Like they're just like, all right, your squirrel's just gonna. Yeah, they released it into the wild like that, which means now in the wild you have a squirrel coming down from a hardcore meth addiction somewhere. That's what I wanted to read, but you scrolled super fast.
Oh, sorry. After releasing the squirrel into the wild, the linesman kind of shifts that there was no safe way to test the squirrel for meth.
So they were just taking his word for it that it was meth fueled?
I feel it was one of those things where they're like, okay, we have drug test kits. They're for humans. How do they get a drug test kit for the squirrel aside from, I don't know, hiring a veterinarian? Finding somebody that can draw blood from a squirrel. You would need a squirrel phlebotomist.
What's weird is, you can do that. They're lying when they're saying there's no safe way.
Okay, to be fair, they probably could have gotten a vet or something like that, and I don't know.
Yeah, they might have to knock the squirrel out first, but how do you think vets figure out, like, you know, there's vets that work on small animals, rats, ferrets, stuff like that. Is it
because of the price of anesthesia?
I was gonna say, it might be that really the sheriff is just like, it's too expensive to test this squirrel for meth.
To test this squirrel for meth, and we've got this guy in body armor and a bunch of meth.
Okay, I see. He showed up. Okay, so the dude, after he got out, or something, got the squirrel back by whistling, because that's what I was wondering too. It says he raised it from a baby. I'm like, how are you just gonna, like, here, you're free now in the wild? Like, if the critter doesn't know how to hasn't grown up in the wild, that's kind of messed up. Dang.
So Ultimately, sometimes there are no really good options. So it's like, what are you going to do? It's like, well, the dude that raised it that the squirrel knows and trusts is probably going to be in jail for a little while. What are you going to do? Send the squirrel to jail? Send it to a foster parent? It's like, hey, we got the squirrel. Listen, he's got kind of a bad habit. He's kind of coming down from meth. I'm sure you understand.
I'm actually really surprised that the police didn't kill it, since they love to do that to like family pets. So you would think a wild family or a wild pet dude's pet that might be on meth would be right up their alley.
To be fair, as soon as the story that police arrest dude with meth fueled a power attack squirrel, a lot of people's initial question following up is that good chance they don't care what happened to the human. They're gonna be like, what happened to the squirrel? I feel like as soon as the media was there, they're like, what can we say we did? We released it into the wild, because that's the best option you can have, at least if you're going to deal with the press.
This is what they claim they did. I mean, apparently this dude did take to the internet to say he got his squirrel back in one piece. But I do like here where he said, yes, the squirrels bit people before, but it wasn't on meth. So now I'm like, okay, if the police are saying they didn't test the squirrel for meth, and he's saying he never gave the squirrel meth, why do they think the squirrel was on meth?
The public isn't in danger from the methed out squirrel in the neighborhood, Fulk said with a chuckle. He's not on meth. I'm pretty sure. Better not find out he's on meth anyway. I don't think he likes that S.
Yeah, but up top, like above that, it says denied it was drugged. Just admits that it's bitten people.
Oh no,
so
no!
Who came up with the meth squirrel?
I feel like he probably joked about it, or maybe it was based upon this joke here. I don't know.
No, because that joke is based on the fact that they're reporting meth squirrel. So what inspired them to report that the squirrel was on meth? If he's saying it wasn't, and the police are saying, we're not going to test it, we're not going to drug test it, then who decided to report that it was a meth squirrel?
Somebody had a tip. So that's why I think they have the allegedly. Or, no, they have according to the sheriff's department. See, according to the sheriff's office, because they had received a tip.
The trial of the Alabama man. It says somebody at the trial reported or accused him of giving it meth.
Well,
what was it then?
I feel like if you had a pet squirrel and you were a meth dealer and somebody came over and you were selling the meth, I feel like that may be either a joke or a real thing that happened.
Well, what else is weird, right, is that they didn't charge him for having meth.
No, I think they charged him for the meth.
They got him for having a wild animal, stolen property, and weapon possession.
Oh. Well, maybe the squirrel ate all the meth.
The squirrel got rid of all the evidence.
The
evidence.
Well, it's all I know from Lois Griffin is meth is a hell of a drug. But that is what I've been told. So it's okay. The squirrel had been people using night. It was drug. Okay. Correction. A previous version's article misstated that W published a report. Monday. No, okay, it was Tuesday. Thank you for
that's what they went to freaking change. Or that was the update was, oops, we put a wrong day.
To be fair, I actually appreciate that. It's like, oh my God, you actually correct things. A lot of folks will be like, nobody really cared about this. It doesn't probably really make a huge difference unless it's something like in a court of law. You need to try to argue something.
I was going to say, yeah, they technically have to, even if it's something that small, but it's still kind of funny to like republish it as more information, and it was not. Well,
I think that was an update because the said gentleman, I think I got arrested again. So rather than going into much of what actually happened. They basically just rehashed the meth attack squirrel story because, well, meth attack squirrel.
That's crazy.
I mean, is that not literally the framing of that article? More or less the same pitch as squirrel with a gun. Why? Because you're like, WTF, mate? This is a thing? So
I was going to say, you are more likely to click on read that article if they put the headline of a meth attack squirrel or whatever, attack squirrel on meth.
Man charged with having stuff. Nobody cares about that.
Then if you just put dude charged with having a squirrel. Like,
so Fizz, according to Ken, it's, hey, leave those squirrels alone.
I mean, they mind their business. Mine's my business.
Can you do that in the what's the voice? It's like, hey, teachers, leave them. Another brick in the wall.
Hey, teachers, leave them squirrels alone.
Thank you. All right, that made the stream there. Yes, the squirrels learned to cook. Listen, all I know is apparently in Meet the Fockers, they taught the cat how to use the toilet. Now
that's a couple people have managed to succeed in that.
I've heard that because I'm skeptical, but I think it's possible because
it is like I've read how to do it. It's just you have to be willing to go through with it and do it. Most people are like, they'll shit in a box, fine.
I'm like, okay, now could you do it? Sure, because I know enough cats are entertained by toilets usually because it's like, oh, look, swirly water and stuff like that. So that's what usually happens. Could you train a cat? I suppose apparently you can.
You get a litter box. You get a specific litter box that the toilet seat can kind of help hold in place. And so you leave the toilet lid up.
So they scoot up and then they
hop up there. They get used to using the litter box there. You have to get used to when you want to use the toilet. You got to move the litter box, put it back every time. You got to put up with having a litter box there in the first place. Litter box smell and stuff. But yes, eventually you get them so used to using the litter box right there. That I can't remember if there's another step, like the litter box gets smaller until like they don't care about
like a training box.
Yeah, like that. So eventually they don't care if the dirt is there or not. And then if your cat's a willing participant, you can eventually remove the litter box and they will use the toilet. Some have supposedly even taught them to flush the toilet.
See, that's the question.
I think that's a little bit bull because I'm like, bro, loud noises. They don't like that. Loud noises, swirling water. I don't know, man. I think it depends on the flusher, honestly. And
I would be afraid because some cats I feel this is just, I'm not sure if this is a cat thing or maybe a human thing. Or I feel like once you teach them how to flush, some people would have really high water bills.
Yeah. I'm thinking that. And also, not all cats are graceful. One might flush themselves down the toilet. Not all of them are graceful as you think cats are supposed to be. They're not. And cats know it because they get really embarrassed if you catch them not being graceful.
Oh my god. Just
like
the sheer
they know
look
they're
of horror. It's like,
be.
Oh, you did not see that.
They get so humiliated if they don't land. They don't stick a landing or they fall off something. Man, you can tell that they know they are expected to be nimble and graceful and good at that stuff all the time. Dogs, they do something stupid. They're just like, who did that?
I think everybody, or at least conscious things, what is conscious, what is not, I don't know. I'd say all have a kind of unique personalities, if you would. And it's like everybody's a little bit different, but it's like, hey, diversity is the spice of life. At least that's what I've heard. And at least according to that ramen I had earlier, I can confirm that. So
Yep,
That's
and
kinda-
then you just have to be okay with leaving the bathroom door open and the lid up at all times so that your kitty cat, or putting a cat door in the bathroom door, that works too. And hope nobody sticks their arm in there to freak you out at some point when you're like pooping. That would suck.
Especially with zombie makeup.
Oh yeah.
Like rule 3 of Zombieland. It's like beware bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was one of those other things. It's like you made a random one-off movie that nobody really ever considered. You had Bill Murray in it. You murdered Bill Murray in it. Okay, homicided Bill Murray. It was an accident. They pretend he was a zombie. It's like, do you regret anything? Garfield, maybe. It was an honest response, because it wasn't a great movie. But I'm like, all right, that was one of those things. And then they did a sequel. I don't know, what, like 7, 8 years later?
There's a sequel?
Yes, I think they did it.
Holy
It came out
crap.
like a few years ago. Did they? Okay, is this actually a thing, or am I just making this up?
I didn't even know there was a sequel. It didn't need one. It was just,
yeah,
it's
10 years
so
later,
entertaining.
Zombieland 2, 2019. Yeah,
How
here we
did it
go.
do compared to Zombieland 1?
Double tap. Okay, let's see Zombieland double tap. Okay, according all right, so about 50 million bucks. All right, made about 125. Let's see. The sequel to the original film developed began like literally right after the first, with the return of Reese had the plan. Soon faced several delays, and the rise instead wrote Zombieland television pilot featuring a new cast, which ultimately failed, being ordered for a series release. Development for the sequel was revived in 2016. Okay.
They waited too long, man.
Yeah. Because what was it?
I didn't even realize it came out, because if you don't put a sequel out, like, if you don't start hyping up the sequel, like, right after the first one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it actually made more money. I'm not sure if that was because of inflation or stuff. Okay, the budget basically doubled, and they made like $20 million less dollars or so. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you do that like that, and like, especially if you don't know it's going to be a success, like, I feel like that's a general thing. And then you have James Cameron movies where it's like, all right, you came out with a second Avatar, like literally almost a decade too late. It still made $1 billion. Why? James Cameron. So not all, but like when you had 300, it's like, damn, that was a good movie. And then you would like a decade, and it's like, oh yeah, 302. What? Something with ships. I still haven't watched it.
Same.
I dressed
feel
up like a freaking Spartan for Halloween.
Right. Some stuff doesn't need a sequel. And that's what makes it so good. It's so good that at the end of it, you are satisfied. Like, you watched a really good movie. You got a really good open-closed story. You're not, you're going, that was really good, but you're not going, geez, I hope there's a sequel, because that explains nothing. Like,
because to be fair, Zombieland have that ending. Because when you have like the end there, it's like, listen, you got your Twinkie, you got this, you got that. Bill Murray no longer exists. Apparently, some people seem to be fans of that. But it's like it ended, and it's like, all right, he kind of had like his family and stuff, and it's like, yeah, zombies may rule the earth and stuff, but hey, at least Dex got his Twinkie. But and then to be fair, 300. It's like, what's the story? It's like, yeah, the 300 folks, like, they perished. Why? They're not gonna stop everybody forever and stuff like that. But the sheer fact that 300 people actually stood up against such odds, that's
still
why
managed to do a lot of damage.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, all right, we use strategy. We have our basically phalanx. No, the Romans were the phalanx. They basically had like their shield wall and stuff. And it's like, all right, here's a narrow pass. We can kind of at least have this narrow pass and everything. So you have the strategy in there. And it's like, if you're going to do some things, you can do it. But I feel like if you really want to do that and you end it on a good note, unless you really have a good reason to continue on. Maybe you do spin-offs, kind of like an MCU-ish type thing. You could have like some other stories, and it's like, see, it's tough because you do something good, people want to see more stuff, but then it's like, do you really want to have to see? This is why I say fans of the future, because rather than having to be a big company or studio and be like, oh God, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to allocate all these resources. I'm like, you got some really hardcore fans. They're really passionate about this stuff. And a lot of folks are able to work because they're passionate about it. It seems like it. I'm just saying, maybe take some ideas from like the fandom and stuff and either incorporate them, or like whether it's like a Star Wars theory, like skit or something where it's like you're watching, you're like, dang, this is really good. Like this is like watching Star Wars and stuff. But some dude and a bunch of other passionate folks, they made it. Why wouldn't you adopt that? Maybe promote it and, oh my God, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, maybe we're not going to claim all your stuff because you're doing all the. I don't know. You get a good idea. Maybe they can make some money. Maybe you could make some money. I don't know. Spread the wealth around it. I'm just saying, mostly probably based upon the Godzilla community, because when I look at like some of like these fan animations, like freaking, okay, all right. I still need to do another channel that's like kaiju stuff of it. Godzilla versus Gigan. Okay. So he had the official Toho thing with like gemstone and everything like that, pictures. Okay, so there we go. No, this screen. All right. We can wrap up with a little fan stuff. Okay. So basically, Toho, on at least like the Godzilla channel, they did Godzilla versus Gigan Rex. You've got this version and everything. Methyl Kaiju actually did a good job too. One of my favorites, and it actually, the animation may not be quite as detailed and high res as some of these others. This from like MMD, oh my God, I love this channel and some of the things that they do. Just because we'll skip ahead, but you got the traditional Gigan thing. We'll skip. This is literally how Gigan is introduced as a diamond in the original Godzilla series. Oh, look, we got our friend over there. And this is how Gigan enters with King Ghidorah in the original series. That's freaking badass right there. You're using the traditional music and everything. So ultimately what happens, hold on. Basically, Gigan Ruthless stomps. Basically, everybody in the city. Yes, because the standard tanks and everything worked so well before. I'm like this is. I'm pretty sure this is one primary animator. I think 4 or 5 other contributing for certain scenes. But I'm just like, I grew up in like the old Godzilla in the suit days, but ultimately, there we it does a little pose, a little kind of Ginyu Force thing / Gigan. Yes, Gigan, while being happy at what he did, made one fatal error. This town was already claimed. Why? And I just started watching this. I'm like, all right, because there's a number of different versions and genres of Godzilla. I'm like, which form was this? And it's my favorite. That's Final Wars Godzilla, because that's little cat ears.
Aww.
This is also the same Godzilla that tanked the Gorath asteroid. I mean, look at this! It's pretty high quality, and then this part I love. The homage. It's... Okay, I'm going to show one last part. Hold on. Where is it? Let's see. I don't just want to show the entire dang thing, but Here we go. Ah, yes, Godzilla is down. There's a little bit of spoiler, but the creative liberty made sense. Because Gigan in that movie, after getting wrecked by Godzilla the first time, has those ginormous buzzsaws. Spoiler. He used that move earlier. Which, if you've ever watched any anime, villains should not use the same move again. Why?
Yeah.
Fatal error. You forgot the chains that were still on the ground from your earlier part of the battle we didn't show. Which leads to, precarious predicament. You were about to finish him. What happened now? Just full on kaiju rampage. And we'll skip ahead. Oh, no. We'll skip ahead even more. Because this is literally, when you line up Goku versus Vegeta, you can time this out where it's literally like Gallic Gun versus Kamehameha. Like the way they end it, I'm going to do a side-by-side at one point where it's literally same beam struggle. What? This beam is strong as my Gallic Gun! Well, and that's the point where it's like Kaioken times 4! And yes, that's it. This is literally exactly what happens to Vegeta. Like the side-by-side is it's with the exact the little thing in the distance too. Zoom out to our protagonist and says Son Goku, it's Godzilla. It's I'm not saying that's what inspired it. I think that may have been a contributing factor. But yes, oh god, once the squirrels learn wait, I thought that said code. That's all I've got.
Squirrels learn to code.
I had to, well, he said cook, but oh god, that might be even more dangerous. Hey, maybe we're all under the great grand squirrel emperors. Oh god, that is very loud. Okay, I should delete that clip. Delete video. Okay, that one was too loud. But Fizz, what do you got coming up?
Today, I'm gonna play some Minecraft later because the server is back, and I forgot how to play Minecraft already, so I have to relearn everything I learned.
Well, the last time I played Minecraft is I did get stuck in a hole. So I mean, these things do happen. So I mean, and occasionally, God, it was terrible. Actually, he's paid money for that, and it's like I got stuck in a hole, and then I got very discouraged. It's kind of like I think the Witcher 2 video game. I never got past the intro. It just, It was something I wasn't doing right in the tutorial. And then I just got so sidetracked. It just didn't get me. It was like the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. Had to at least get to the 3rd. But, yeah. All right. So we got Fizz's stuff and things in the chat. It's in the doobly-doo. Anyone that wants to go check out her antics, feel free to join. But other than that, any final parting words, Miss Fizz?
Squirrel!
Well, you heard it here. Squirrel.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys! You guys! I just want to